Greetings, Star Nations and YouTube family. So, what the video that you're about to watch or listen to is just a little sharing, a talk that came forward for our last Starseed journey in January of 2023. And it's about how guidance comes into my consciousness and addresses some of the limiting thoughts that I have, or the should do's and should be's when I'm feeling as though I should be doing more, I'm not doing enough, that kind of thing. The talk is really about how energy works after the meditation. So what happens during a meditation energetically, and then how that applies to the real world and our role in the real world, our actions in the real world. So the difference between sitting down on the cushion for meditation and also then going to do the work of the results of that meditation, right? So there's the 5D work, and there's also the 3D work. And in meditating, in setting intention, and in doing energy work around what it is that you're trying to create, what it is that you're trying to manifest, that is the 5D work, which makes the 3D work so much easier and so much more graceful. And so that's why we do it. That's why we sit, and that's why we meditate, and that's why we vision and bring vibrations and frequencies to our vision, because it allows for the opening of doors. It allows for the synchronicities, and it allows for the 3D actual labor work, the actual physical work that has to be done in grace and ease. And so please enjoy this little talk with our students prior to our Starseed journey. And I'm going to link the Starseed journey that we played with immediately after this. So it'll roll right into it if you have the time to listen. Otherwise, just save it to your watch later list and enjoy. Thanks so much, and have a blessed day. So I noticed that for myself, when if I don't meditate for a few days, I get a little antsy, and then I feel like I need to meditate and sit down for a couple hours and just kind of get back into the energy, get back into the high groove. And especially in regards to like manifesting, resetting my intention, resetting my focus on where I'm going, that kind of thing. Because, you know, when you're in the 3D world, you get busy and you're kind of all over the place, your energy kind of scatters. So I like to try to, if I'm not meditating daily, which I can't say that I've ever had that practice for very long, but it came into my awareness yesterday because I was having this, what day is today? Wednesday? Yeah. So I think on Friday we took off for the weekend, and we were working on that cabin up north. And it was busy, 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 active labor work, you know, running around kind of stuff. And I felt really scattered. And then it occurred to me yesterday, as I was just like chilling out, that I had done earlier in the week, last week, I had done a meditation where I was connecting and merging with a future self, right? Or like future self energy. And in that meditation, I had a lot of mind chatter, what I assumed was mind chatter. There was a lot of thoughts in my head. And one of the thoughts was, oh, my girlfriend is getting married this spring out in California, and I'd really like to go out there and be there for my best friend's wedding. But boy, it's going to be financial crunch in the spring. And I was kind of hoping maybe we could postpone it, blah, blah, blah. That was going on in my head and during the meditation. And the other thing that was popping into my head in the meditation was this cabin up north. We closed it down for the winter. And we weren't planning on going back up there again until March, just because it's not winterized or anything like that. So when I got out of the meditation that day, within a couple hours, I received a text from my best friend out in California saying that they had moved their wedding. It was going to be in October. And later in the afternoon, my partner said to me, you know, we're kind of wasting time. It's a mild winter. We should go up and get some work done on the cabin so that it's ready to go in the spring. So both of those things kind of like happened on the same day as that meditation. And then what happened was we decided to do that, right? So we had to like pack up and do all of this work and buy stuff and bring it there and unpack it and start to install things. And so all that was going on. And, you know, I'm not one to be gentle on myself. So I was like, man, I did all this work up there, but I haven't done my meditations. I haven't done my spiritual work. I'm like away from my stuff, like, and so I'm beating myself up a little bit. And then it flashed into my head, this sort of epiphany that the meditation work that I had done the previous week sort of set all of these events into motion and all of the grace around those events into motion. And there was a lot of grace when we were purchasing stuff for the cabin, and then we were gifted a whole bunch of patio furniture like on that weekend. So it was like all this grace was happening and all this stuff was coming into my field, into my life, right, in support of that greater vision, which is this manifestation of the lake house and getting it prepped up and ready to go. So the understanding that sort of came through was, because in the same moment that was coming through, it was also like, and this has always been the case. So what I'm sharing with you is what I've noticed, and as this epiphany, is that when I go into meditation and I set the energy for the manifestation or for the intention of co-creation in my life, the energy is set in that sitting down on the cushion. But then you have to do like the 3D work of it. Then the 3D world shifts and changes and realigns to that new intention that you have. And so then you have to go into the 3D and you have to ground it. And then you come back to the cushion and you do it again on the next step and the next step and the next step. So I'm sharing that with you guys because it was, in the moments of kind of beating myself up for not having enough time to meditate while I'm working a million hours doing labor stuff, that even if you're just doing it once a week or twice a week and setting the intention, in your purity, setting the intention. And as I mentioned in that meditation, it wasn't like all bliss and grace. It was just a whole bunch of what I considered mind chatter. But even in that space of mind chatter, I was still receiving data from my girlfriend, and or I just shifted timelines, who knows, because it was planning for March. So I don't know if it shifted timelines or if I was telepathically communicating to my girlfriend or what was going on there. But through that meditation, that thing shifted, and then the cabin shifted, all in that little hour that I sat and meditated. And then from there, I had to do the 3D stuff of grounding that meditation. So the purpose of this chat is to continue to encourage you to do what you can and to not beat yourself up, because just because a little bit of that energy work goes a long way. Yeah. What do you want to say, Karen?
Oh God, you hit on it. That's what I do. I admonish myself for not being more consistent, and because I've noticed that when I do meditate, exactly what you said happens. You start seeing the, results, like opportunity come up, and then you start working on building that. And then what happens is I'll slack off some, I get busy, and I put it in my head that imagine what would happen if you were more consistent. And so then I admonish myself. So when and I know I have to stop doing that. But you described that exactly. It is exactly what I do. And I think it's because I see the results that I realize, well, wow, what would happen if you were more consistent? It would be, so I do try to work on that. But yes, I see that completely in my life. Completely.
Yeah. And I think that that's what the guidance was kind of like just showing me, right? And it also made it also made this connection, right? When in my head, this is something that I haven't shared, but I share this with my light body students, is that when you do this energy work, when you do this meditation, your life will shift and change. And so, we all want to just keep doing the meditations, keep doing the energy work and changing our life and up leveling and up leveling and up leveling. But there's a real world result to the energy manifestation, right? So when you shift the energy, the external world has to mirror the new energy that you carry. And so there's a dissolution usually of the things that aren't working in your life. And those things go away, right? And there's endings to relationships and or situations or careers or whatever. There's endings if they don't fit anymore into your new aligned energy, into your new focused intention. So those things have to go, and then the new things can come in. And if we go too fast, if we meditate, like, it's not about meditating too often, but if we're like upgrading, then the exterior world is, it's fast. It's like fast, like the Tower card. You guys are familiar with the Tower card in tarot, right? So it's like, oh, well, she just meditated for however many long. Let's just wipe out all of this in a tsunami, right? And then that all has to clear, and you have to emotionally and physically deal with all of that clearing. And so let's give ourselves a break if we're only meditating once or twice a week, because there's something inherent, I think, inside of us that slows it down so that we can handle the changes that those meditations and those focused energies can, or that are bringing towards us. And it's really just about your headspace, your mind space, and not beating ourselves up for not doing what we think we should be doing, right? Yeah. So anyway, so that was my little share, and just offering that out there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. You ready for a journey? Okay. Get yourself cozies.